Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another couch video. Money and status alone doesn't make a man select. Now I'm seeing the terms thrown out there, and I had somebody hit me up this past weekend, had a comment asking me about some guys he thought to be selected. I say, hey, you never say they were select. See, understand something. When you talking select, non-select, I put the terms out in here. When I first learned the terms back in the late 90s from Master Yao and Yamache Morris, I learned from him, but then did my own research. When I wrote my book, Nice Guys and Players, look at the publication date. Check out the Library of Congress number. You can check that out. I'm the one who know what he's talking about. I know who fits into that category. And let me be clear. Money and status alone doesn't make a man select. Money and status won't, just by themselves, won't put you in that category. Now, here's the interesting part. Anybody who read my book, Nice Guys and Players, know I talk about two men in the select group. One is the Mr. Goodbar. Those are the guys who, women just had that raw sex appeal. Women are just turned on by them sexually. Biggest thing is a combination of a good body build and sexual charisma that puts them there. Now some of them look like that, that male model type, but some of them might look average, but they can turn on a woman sexually, and they just got it. It's more of an intangible thing, right? Now, check it out. There's also what is termed the masked man. Now, some people might see them. Now, they definitely got money and status, and that plays a part. But remember, the title of this joint is Money and Status Alone, which means, yes, that plays a part, but they got to have some other stuff. Now, two of the other things a man has to have along with money and status, he has to look good, or at least some degree of looks. He has to be sharp. He has to have a good physique. Like, you can get some guys who are in the Mr. Goodbar category. They might not have that top-notch physique. They'll have a good body build, but it's that sexual thing. It's like people who've been out there, they know there's some women will tell you there's just some guys, and they be like, yeah, you don't look like all that, but he's sexy. It's a big difference. It's a big difference between, the physical part, that's the physical part. And like I said, the physique can turn it on. But women, when women are turned on by a man sexually, it's also his intangibles and stuff. That's why in some videos I've talked about the term ugly sexy. Like, a woman will say, he don't look that good, but they'll jump his bones. It's something different, something about him. Or it's not even a height thing. Like, I knew this dude, women, they were talking, he was about 5'7", but women were going crazy over. And the women said why they were going crazy. They just used the number 10. I'll leave it at that. They all love them too. I was like, okay. But if you look at dudes, you be like, how he getting play? But that's the Mr. Goodbars. Let's put them to the side. With the money, if a dude get money and status to make that second group, the masked men. Okay, they got some status, they got some money, right? They also they still got to hit the gym. They got to hit the gym harder. Indeed, some of them who do hit the gym hard, they might actually think they are Mr. Goodbar. Not necessarily, but it's like a couple, you can break them down, but they also had a potential of crossing over from masked men to Mr. Goodbar. But they gotta have all that stuff. So, and they do have to have a degree of looks. Like, if you get a Mr. Goodbar, he can have his hair all wild. He can do whatever. Women gonna go crazy. And that's part of why they go crazy. You know, he just got that aura about him, erotic, where he looked like he would tear that woman up. But the masked man gotta look like something. He gotta look like something. He gotta hit that. He gotta let the barber bless him once a week. Maybe every 3 days. He gotta make sure his clothing style is tight. He gotta make sure all of that is tight. And even that don't really get him there. Because he can still look like something, but still not really be seen as select. Because that whole select, non-select thing is a sexual hierarchy. It's a sexual hierarchy. So he still got to have one more thing. He still got to have, he just got to have a bit of sex appeal. A bit of sex appeal. Now, what turns on a woman sexually? A man who got an edge to him, a dominant thing. In fact, the best form of a masked man would be considered a corporate thug. Like this dude, he's like take charge and everything. And also got a sense of power. That's an important thing. Power, dominance, everything. So it's not just some guy just making some money. It's not just some guy. You got a lot of guys making 6 figures, but they're not in a dominant position. They just well paid I hate to say it, but they just well paid flunkies. You know, they in a support position. Yeah, they well paid and everything, but they not the dominant one. They not the CEO. They not the owner. You know, they gotta have that attitude and stuff. Because women, one thing that will turn a woman on is power. Just saying, like if you just saying, oh well, yeah, I'm making all this money, I got the status. How much power you got? Are you dominating everything? Are you running everything? That's an important piece. But see, what you have now, you think some guys just money. Okay, if that's the case, why is so many men who got money? Why is it that they double back home one day? They hear this noise in their bedroom. And y'all know what's coming. Hey, Joe Roughneck, I know you listening. You know what's coming. Yeah, some other people know what's coming. Yeah, you go in your bedroom and you got this big old house. You bought that woman that car and everything. You double back home one day and go in your room, and then the guy who is your lawn man or UPS driver or sometimes mailman or just some neighborhood kid pounding the shit out your woman. And all he do is just look back and say, my bad. This you, man? Oh, hey, let me finish up real quick. The thuggish ones that say, hey man, just leave, man. And because they got a gun right there. No, and that's some real talk. Because if it was just money and status, I want y'all to think about something. Why is there so many men who have it? Just that money and status got to deal with escorts. Or why they got to get sugar babies. Or why they getting played. Or why women putting them say, well, baby, I got to wait 90 days to have sex with you. And they just milking the man. And I've talked to a lot of dudes who got money. I talked to a lot of dudes and they be complaining. They be saying the woman ain't give me nothing yet. I took her here and all of that. They ain't had that edge to them. You got to have that edge. Like, yeah, money is great to have for yourself. But a lot of women are playing these guys. Look, women be on some straight game out here. Like I said, one of the earliest games I learned is a man. This in Southeast DC. The game of a man is to get pussy without spending money. And the game of a woman is to get money without giving up the pussy. And women start learning that game early. And they playing a lot of men. If you don't think they are, one day take the day off and go find a family court in your jurisdiction and just sit there. Check out a place that you want to eat lunch at. I mean, seriously, just sit there. Most times you can just go in the courtroom and just sit there. And watch the faces of these men who got great jobs, everything. As a judge say, okay, you got to pay this much. This your child support. Nah, boom, boom. Seriously. Or divorce courts or something. Most of these things allow people just to be a spectator. Go check them out. They got money and status. Are they select? And especially the whole thing with women's infidelity. See, I'm going to tell you what. This is how I know a woman's game. I told you, I ain't saying I'm proud of it, but this was just a reality. This is when I really learned it. Because I used to be that side piece a lot. And the women, they be saying, and they'll talk about it. They say, he's a good man. You know, he's a good man. He pay for stuff. He do all this. Boom. Or sometimes be sitting over there at the woman's house or something, that phone ring, and they be like, on the rare occasions, if I happen to see them out or something, might be talking with them, doing whatever, their man come up, she'll look at you, and say, play like you my cousin. Seriously. People need to ask themselves stuff. Because see, here's a problem with it. People think if they just get money and a status and, you know, that's it. Or they'll think, I get a lot of guys who hit me, who will say something in comment and say, well, all these men up here, you know, they getting these fine women and stuff. That's what you see publicly. That's what you see publicly. Because you start checking and stuff and you start doing some digging, you find out those same women cheating on you. Indeed, I'm going to tell you how deep it is. A lot of those men who just have money and status, they don't have the other stuff, they getting cuckolded. That's a big thing. They getting cuckolded. Like anybody who know about that world or being a bull, and if I gotta explain the bull thing to you, then you really don't know what's happening now. Being a bull, you know, they doing that bull work in a place where it's probably a big old mansion or something. That guy got money and status. He ain't selected that one. So, you know, some guys thinking if they just get that, boom. But it still plays, like I said, it plays a part in getting at least becoming a masked man. It plays a part. You can't get past that. And if you work on that, okay, fine. You got to hit the gym too. You got to hit the gym and you got to make sure all of this is good. You got to let the barber bless you. You got to have that style. You got to have all of that. And then even with that, you got to have that edge to you. You got to have that edge. You got to have that dominance. You better be able to tear their asses up in the bedroom. And I'm going to get into it in the next video, why that's really important. The bedroom part is really the key. Because remember, the select and non-select is a sexual hierarchy. I don't care all this shit. I'm going to tell you what. If you're going to talk about it and you don't have sex in the conversation, it's an illegitimate conversation. It's an illegitimate conversation. And if you talk to me, who apprenticed with a man who first introduced the terms, you know, we're the experts. And if sex ain't in the conversation about you developing yourself sexually, it's an illegitimate conversation. It's illegitimate. You can think all that, you can fantasize, and you can do all that. If you ain't talking about making her holler, give it up. You ain't select. It's a sexual hierarchy. Fuck all the other shit. That's why you got some minimum wage dude who don't have any fame, but he fucking everybody at his job. Or some dude who isn't making that much money. He making just enough to live on. Got the women say, baby, I'll pay for this. And bringing him a plate or something. And then sucking his dick. It's a sexual hierarchy. You can't get past that, okay? So, yes, you want, work to get money and status. I always say, work and get it for yourself. But if you're talking about being select, you got to have some of that other shit. You got to hit the gym. You got to hit the gym. You got to make sure your style's tight and your grooming tight. You got to have a barber bless you. And then even then, you got to be a dominant ass motherfucker. And then just in general, just have power. You got to move with power. Anything else, you pretty much, anything else, you come at that woman with some money, you better pray you don't run into a acculturated prostitute, or as the Honorable Pimp guy would call him, Warren B, acceptable hoes. Because that acculturated prostitution is big, because a lot of women are in that game. They were like, okay, they're going to use that vagina to get your money out of it. And they straight playing. you know. So you don't want to be there. All right. So anyway, that's all I got for today. Get back with y'all tomorrow. Peace and blessings.